What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. And y'all, it has been a crazy day. I was warned and I didn't listen about we'll get into it. Like the videos my intro plays because we got a lot to discuss.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. That's all. 1 and 1 got to equal 2.
Make it make sense, boo.
Big moves.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Sun in the sky.
Hey, everybody. I see you guys coming in. So, y'all, I made a video this morning and I did not realize quite how polarizing the Love and Marriage Huntsville fan base is. Hey, Marcella. Yeah, that is Marcella. What's up, Bonnie? Glad you caught the live. Now, y'all, when I chose to do that video, you guys know on this channel, we kind of like to get to like the heart of things. So let me bring up legally. Hey, legally.
Hey, Mims. How are you?
I'm good.
Whoosh,
So, okay.
yeah.
So what initially happened was I saw Martell's video, or it was his Instagram live, and he was talking about the custody hearing and his issues that he had. If you watched my video earlier this morning, you saw that. And I thought he said something about there being like 23 different nannies or babysitters. And I was kind of like, well, I mean, if in my head, I'm thinking, well, if you use a babysitter service, there probably will be any number of them. I mean, unless you have like a family friend or you have like one paid nanny, a lot of people use the service. So I wasn't quite getting it. And then he started to go on about the brother babysitting and the brother being gay. And he didn't want anything to happen to his children. So like my ears perked up because I'm like, typically people don't say stuff like that on the internet because that could get you canceled. And so I was like, anytime somebody says, I don't have an issue with one group of people, and then they say, but, then you know they got an issue with one group of people. Is that fair legally?
I think anything that is your opinion is fair. And yes, when you say but, it negates everything you said before it. Like an apology, for instance. Like, I'm sorry, made you feel like but, you know. But
so I saw that. And then what has been happening is I guess now for my personal YouTube, I get a lot of notifications for other content creators who talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I support everybody. So I'll go into their chats. And I believe one of the videos that I saw was a content creator named What's Happening. And she was talking about Melody. And Melody had posted some stuff basically thanking people in the custody case, and it ended with vindicated. So I was like, oh, okay. I remembered that Martell had made that video about the custody. I watched the show. So I knew that the custody things were going on. There's a high pitch. Is that yours, legally? You guys hear a high pitch frequency?
I'm muted. I'm muted. So let me mute myself.
It might be mine. So then Melody put vindicated, and I believe she also said something to the effect of, you know, she was glad that it was over, and it may not be what you guys want, but, you know, it's what's good for the kids. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's positive. And then her cousin posted something saying it was 50-50 custody, 50-50 joint custody, and no child support. And so those are the reasons I was like, okay, well, can we fact check this? Legally is my legal eagle. She, you know, she's the one with the law degree. She's the one, you know, just look at her profile picture, y'all.
Oh, thanks, James. That's totally staged. But yes, I am a law school graduate and a private investigator. But more importantly, I'm here for Mims.
So she was my legal eagle, and I did not like specifically what Martell had said about, not wanting the gay brother around the kids, because I'm like, you know, some of us might have a gay aunt or uncle. Like, it was weird. He also made comments about him having the ability to get basically first dibs at being the one to take care of the children if Melody was not in town. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Jamie. I appreciate that. So the first question was, are we able to get this information to confirm? And legally said, let's try. And it's not sealed. I want to say, really quickly, I want to say this.
That's right.
Even though, the straight shooters, we're internet detectives, we also have a heart. There's no way, if you know me, if you're new to getting to know me, that I would touch on anything that, is not already out there, that is not like public, that is not, I would never touch on something that is sealed. I'm not that kind of person. Legally, do you want to take it away?
I certainly will. And the reason that you wouldn't do it is because if it was sealed, you couldn't do it. But here in the state of Alabama, yes, we do have open records. And to be complete with what I say, yes, some domestic law, domestic relation cases, child support cases, custody cases, all those things. Some, yes, are sealed for different reasons, and some are not. In this case, in this instance, the records are not sealed, and they are public record.
So really what I was looking for was just to confirm what the cousin had already said. And legally also found out that on the attorney's website, there were court documents.
Yes.
And I was like, Martell's attorney? And she said, no, it's Melody's attorney. Melody's attorney has which documents on their website?
The attorney's law firm has the complaint and answer from the divorce. In other words, it has where Melody filed for divorce and Martell's answer response to the divorce. They're on the attorney's website.
So you have Martell speaking about it in a public forum, speaking about the custody. You have Melody confirming that she's vindicated and that she's happy that it's over. And then you have Melody's cousin confirming that it was 50-50 joint custody. So that was the complete story. And that is why I began my video with that. Like, if you are new to the channel, over here, I allow you guys to have all your opinions. I don't mind if you're a Martell supporter. I don't mind if you're a Melometer. In fact, some of the Melometers in the comments, I'm like, I value your opinion. I want to hear what you have to say. So when I open the panel up, everybody's welcome, because that's what we do on this channel. We have conversations. So moving on. So we have Martell talking about it, Melody saying she's vindicated, Melody's cousin saying, it was a 50-50 split, no child support. Then you have Melody's attorney having some of the documents on their website. So, in looking over the documents, what stood out to me was when the judge kind of admonished both of them and then made a comment about Martell, being the parent that was actually trying to co-parent, and then saying conversely that Melody wasn't. And that struck a chord with me. Every time I talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, people get mad at me. I'm not a Melometer, but I do feel like this woman was wronged. I'm sorry. And with that being wronged, you have somebody who's been embarrassed on national TV. And so when the judge, said these things, I wanted to talk about the human element. I put myself in Melody's shoes and I'm like, if she is saying, because I played the recording where she said that he was still trying to talk to her, sending her flowers while he was with Sheree, I'm like, that has to be uncomfortable if you are the person that has moved on. And so I wanted to discuss it and put it in regards to the human element. Like, everybody, you can get an attorney. And even when legally's talking to me sometimes, I'm like, layman's terms. Like, you know, layman's terms. And so I put myself in Melody's shoes, and I was just like, this has to be hard because now you have the court system actually saying, well, you're not trying. Well, what is she supposed to do? Is she supposed to record the calls? Because she's saying that he is steadily trying to talk to her. And even if you saw the episode on Love and Marriage Huntsville, he kept saying, let me walk you out to your car. Or, let me walk you out to the car. It was exactly what she said happened at one of the children's, I believe it's like one of the children's games. And she said he kept like trying to talk to her, but it wasn't about the kids. It was about them. And so that's really where the heart of that video came from. I just put myself in her shoes and I'm like, this is kind of messed up. So legally, do you have anything to say before I start opening the phones? Because this one is going to be a night. I already know.
I will say, I am, and thank you, Mens, for allowing me to be here. And thank you for all your watchers, because I am normally in the chat because I am a fan and a supporter and also a client of yours. So I will say this. I'm coming from my perspective. It's only from the law, the legal perspective. It's coming
and
from.
She's not giving legal advice, y'all.
I'm not giving legal. Yeah, it's just like I'm not giving legal advice. I'm giving information. And like I said, I do have a law degree. I'm not a practicing attorney because I don't want to be one, but I am a private investigator with a law degree. So I can give you all of the tea and then bring it to you and bring it forthwith and then tell you all about it. But I cannot help you with your divorce case if you want to leave that janky dude that you want or that janky lady. I can't help you with that. But what I can do is tell you what your divorce settlement means. So what you're going to get into today, maybe with the men's allows. But what I will say is this. I'm coming from the aspect, I'm unbiased. I don't have a side. I'm coming just with the truth of what happened and what the court said and what happened in the courtroom. And
yeah, that's really what it was about. Like,
amen.
I remember I broke the Kim foreclosure story. What I won't do, because at this stage of YouTube, I have actual other content creators sending me stuff. Y'all, I would never get something from another content creator. Reality stars have sent me stuff. And the first thing I do is I reach out to an attorney. Is this something that I should disseminate? You know, I try to be fair and impartial, but I'm also not a dummy. So when it comes down to it, you kind of, and this is for other content creators. I know I got sent a lot of other content creators. I am now subscribed to a lot of Love and Marriage Huntsville content creators, some who love Melody, some who love Martell. I say, get it how you live. Anybody out there, you know, who's doing it and has an audience, you know, I will like the video. I will listen. For the most part, everybody was pretty decent to me. They went off in my comments section, but yeah, no, I would not come on here and say anything that I had just gotten from the streets. So I hope that if you're new to my channel, you kind of get to learn that about me. The people who have been subscribed to me, I saw you guys in other people's chats saying, no, you know, that's Mims. Somebody was like, Mims, that's the boy in the hat, right? So I was like, should I not wear my hat today? Because that's what I'm known as, the boy in the hat. It just happens to say make it make sense. But yeah, I see, in my opinion, up here, I'm going to drop the link because this is an open call-in night. Oh, I do want to say this, guys. I have all the documents. I would never sit up here and tell you guys which weekend is Martell's, which weekend is Melody's. What I pointed out was something that I felt was unjust, but I understood why I understood from the judge's vantage point. People talking about they're going to go reach out to the judge. Please do not ever reach out to the judge or threaten the judge. I know that there's, you know, been a lot of stuff being said, but please don't do that. Please,
yeah,
please don't ever like threaten a judge.
Don't. Not because or just don't. And don't go marching. Y'all march at Washington marching the band. Don't go marching up on the people courthouse in Madison County, Alabama, child. Don't do that because they will take you into the jail. And then you'll really be seeing the judge or one of the judges that we may be talking about this evening. And also, it's just not cool. So just looking out for y'all. Do not say a judge should get her A beat. She should be slapped. Don't say that on the internet because that's not.
Yeah, I definitely don't want anybody to like get in trouble.
And not doing it. Oh, go ahead.
I also want to say this. So people were asking the question specifically about like Martell's interrogatories. And this is what I'll say to that. A lot of people feel like Martell did this whole custody battle because we all know that Martell was the one that actually started it. And then Melody did what probably she was advised to do, countersue for custody as well. A lot of people feel like because Melody is the one with the money that Martell was looking for a come up. When I talked about the interrogatories and we went into specifics of all of the very personal questions about who she's dating and who she slept with, to me, it added another element. And the way I was thinking about it was, what if he did the custody battle, not only, you know, maybe to secure the bag, but also if he knew that he could get this information out and embarrass her further. Because at this point, he's been embarrassed with all of the Aryan stuff and the charade stuff and whatever other, you know, shenanigans he is performing. But Melody has not. So I was thinking, what if? Because that's what we do around here. We connect dots. What if it was to get the bag, but also to make her have to say these things in court? That's what I was thinking.
You want me to go? Okay. Well, it sounds good. However, that's not how any of this works. So
hold on. Before you go into it, I knew that yes, you can legally ask these questions, especially if there is a case of you're seeking child support. Some of the questions about her businesses and such would be required to determine how much she can pay in child support. I fully understood that when I talked about it earlier. What were you going to say legally?
Well, first thing I want to say is I need to kind of debunk.
Put my hat back on.
Yeah, because cat in the hat, boy in the hat. Is he like his cat with a rat? I don't know. But going back to what I say. So one thing I must debunk is Martell isn't the one asking for these things. His attorney is. And if any of you have been involved in any kind of lawsuit or any kind of litigation, if you know what interrogatories are, they are questions that you can ask the other side. And the attorney makes them. And so Martell wasn't sitting there writing these questions saying, hey, lawyer man, I want to know all this stuff about. That's not how it happens. And that's how it works. The reason that Martell's attorney asked these questions is because on the state of Alabama and most states in the United States, child support is determined by income. And how do you find out what someone's income is? You have to ask, unless they freely give it over. And so when he's asking, an attorney, saying he, the attorney, is asking, and it is Martell because he's representing Martell, but nevertheless, for this instance, I don't really say Martell, but back to the law. Anyway, point is, the lawyer asked for this stuff because he wants to find out where the money at. Okay, and that's it. And so he has to ask, give me this. And also going back to the passwords.
But why would you need to know who she's sleeping with to find out where the money's at?
The question, let me read the exact question because I want to make sure, because the question wasn't who she's sleeping with. That wasn't. So let's
I paraphrase.
I know. So because I'm about accuracy. So let me find the actual question. That
how many times did you meet a person for romantic or sexual reasons during your custodial times with your minor children since the divorce from the defendant?
Okay. The relevancy of that question could go to a couple of things. One, it could be just so he knows who his children are around in the best interest of the child. And that's a standard that courts use to determine custody and all that kind of thing, right? So it could be to see, if it's, somebody who's recently paroled for SA, then yeah, if that's the answer to the question, then that's a problem in custody. But we don't know what the answer is. So the question does have relevancy, and it is relevant. Another reason he may ask that is because if someone is spending so much time there that the court deems it to be that they're cohabitating, then Martell is generally no longer on the hook for child support because there's someone cohabitating with Melody that has that role now. And so that, defeats that. But what's really, depending on the situation, uses alimony, but it can kind of come in here with child support. So to answer your question in short, It's to see who's around the children. It goes back to the best interest of the child. His attorney did not ask that because he wanted to know who Melly's sleeping with. It was to see the environment of the home and who is in and out the home, which is relevant in a custody case.
I don't trust it.
Well, that's the law.
These are the kind of conversations that me and legally have.
Oh,
but that's why I have access to people like legally. I have access to people like Nathan, like attorneys, legal eagles, because I go for the human side of things. And I just put myself in the position, wow, you have wronged me. And now I have to sit in front of a court and tell all of these people who I might have dated, where all my money's gone from, every phone number that I have, every password that I have. Like IBDASHID said, the question seems invasive.
Custody and divorce.
Does she have to answer?
Cases are invasive.
Does she have to answer that?
Unless there's a really good reason for her not to.
I invited a few people here. I invited, in my opinion, deep conversations with Sean. I'm going to let you guys come up, and it's an open panel night, so I'm going to let multiple people come up. There were two other content creators. One that asked me via DMs if she could use my content. Her name is Ebony. Ebony, we're going to bring up first. And then there was another person who I was in her chat. She seemed like a very nice lady. I want to point her out really quickly. She can come up first as well, in my opinion. Sean hit the link. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, ho, girl.
Hi, Leah. Hi, Mel.
Hey, how's it going?
You know, I'm hanging in there. Didn't get the best news from doctor, but hey, I'm hanging in there. How you doing? You know, let me tell you something. Whenever the Lord wakes me up and blesses me with another day, I'm going to smile and be happy with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, trouble don't last always, and neither will this.
This is the day that the Lord has made.
I mean, you always come in with a positive attitude, even though stuff might be going on. So I appreciate that.
So, okay.
So I know you have a lot to say.
I do, but this is the thing, okay? I am not on anybody's side, first of all, okay? I don't want none of these millimeters coming after me, okay? Because
it's a safe space. It's also a safe space for the millimeters.
It's a safe space. It's a safe space until you say the wrong thing and those millimeters follow you to every chat, every channel. Like, I want to make that clear first before I say it. Don't come for me. I'm team nobody, okay? I'm team Jesus, okay?
Okay. We on the same team.
Here's the thing, okay? Alabama don't play with their court system. Like, she can say she doesn't want Martell to know and to keep it confidential, but she will still have to tell that judge. That judge will still have to know that information. I feel like it sucks that they're in this situation, that they couldn't handle it like adults. Because I feel like...
Hold on really quick. Is that true? Are the interrogatories directly to the judge, or would Martell get access to that information?
All parties, the judges, all parties have access to it.
So okay.
Not if she get it stricken from him. She could show the stalking and everything, and you have it stricken.
Is that true legally?
Stalking is a criminal matter, so it wouldn't be in this court anyway. But if she did feel like he was stalking her, she does have the right to do that. However, send a lawyer, because remember, it's not Martell isn't the one asking for this; it's her attorney asking for this information for to represent his client. And so it's not Martell wanting this. I have to make that absolutely.
Yeah, I know it's not Martell asking for this, but I'm just saying he could tell his attorney it's evasive to him. Like his attorney talks. And the reason I know this is because my sister went through child support and it was a whole thing and they got divorced. But luckily she didn't have somebody like Martell. Okay, let me tell you something. I believe both of them are wrong in this situation. Okay, because it's no way I'm going to tell somebody I'm going to pray for you, nothing. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, if I'm done with you, I'm done with you. Don't ask me to pray for you. Your prayers is only going to reach wherever you praying to. Okay, I'm just saying, go in there and sit down. I'm not praying for nobody. Okay, that's first thing. Okay, I'm not praying for you. Don't ask me to pray for you. I'm not finna play like I'm finna pray for you. Like, I'm not finna do that. Because somebody with Martell's status, the way he acts, if you keep leading him on like that, he's gonna keep acting out. But if you don't give him something to act out on, that monkey gonna have to go on and hop on another tree. Just sorry.
Okay. We have LaDon is into the chat. I'm sorry, not LaDon. Sean, welcome to the channel.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Mims, how you doing? Hey, channel. Hey, chat.
Hey.
So I have a couple of questions. I ain't gonna hold y'all
Mhm.
long. 'Cause I'm at the beauty shop, so I'm gonna get back in. But I have a couple of questions. When Mims was reading out some
Thank
of
you,
the
Jamie.
jargon that was in the documents, and a piece of the, and I don't know it verbatim, but he was saying that because she wasn't answering the phone, or he didn't have the number. Would that not suffice if he's like being stalkerish? Is that not able to come up in the custody battle? If he's not just talking about the 4 children, but trying to talk about them as a couple?
Legally kind of explain that as Mel would need to bring that up, right? Legally.
Okay.
If Melanie wanted to make a stalking claim, that is something that is a criminal matter to go to the police, and that's a totally different court for a totally different matter. And so stalking is going to come in here and asking in interrogatories are part of discovery, and that is Martell's legal right to do that. And like I said, and it's now, this is me talking less legally. When I take the other hat off, I get into the shit. I mean, the stuff we get into. But nevertheless, but legally, yes, he had every right to, because the financial matters are relevant to determining child support. And also, even going to the passwords. Why does he want our passwords? Why does the attorney want the passwords? It's because there may be communication that are in her accounts that are relevant to the case. And if she didn't turn them over freely, then you can ask for them. And if the court deems that there is relevant to the case under the rules of evidence, then it can come in. If it's not, then it doesn't. So you can ask, but you may not receive. However, Martell's attorney was in every legal right. And if this happens to you, I hope it doesn't. Not you, the person who asked, but anyone. If it happens to you, I pray it does. If it does, you also have these same rights. So don't get too pissed off at them when they're not on the side you agree with, because you have the same rights as well. And so do all your friends and family.
Wouldn't the attorney ask their sorry, I just muted you, Sean, unmute yourself when you want to talk because there was some background noise. Wouldn't the attorney potentially say to Martell, you know, these are the questions I want to ask? Like, it doesn't go, none of that goes through Martell?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he and his attorney talked about person. I can tell you, when I sued Sephora for discrimination, yes, and so I can see if I can't tell you what the settlement was, but yeah. But I'm speaking from my personal thing. I didn't know what the interrogatories were. I didn't even know what the meaning of the word was. So yes, can Martell ask? Sure. He's paying the man, we turn him over. But is that normally how it's done? No, because it's a lawyer thing to do interrogatories, you know. But can Martell pull the record and see everything? You know, yeah. Can he say, hey, I really want to know this? Yes. Can the attorney with Martell ask him that? We attorney do it? More than likely not, because that's unethical. And here we are. And I think because I actually did call Martell's attorney because he put all the information on the website. I'm like, let me see if you want to make a comment. Come on the Mem Show. He didn't want to make a comment. Okay. So I did try to deep dive into as deep as I could go to get even the attorney statements to ask himself, but he did not want to make a comment. So y'all have me. And I'm not speaking for Martell, I'm speaking for the law as a lawyer, but not a practicing attorney. So in conclusion and in summary, the questions were proper. There's no stalking involved. He can ask the pastor, he can ask not who she's sleeping with. That wasn't the question, right? But that's how
I interpret it.
But you know what I mean. But yeah.
Do I need to read it again?
Nah, because we may drop the receipts. I don't know if the people want that, but they won't. I don't know. Think about it. But anyway, but yeah, so all those questions are proper. It's not a big deal. He's not stalking her. He probably even know that this stuff was asked. He watched Mims this morning, like we all did. To be honest with you, Martell, congratulations. Now you know. What the lawyer asked.
Hey, boy.
What up? In my opinion.
Hey, welcome to the channel, Don. You had a unique perspective you wanted to share. Jump in.
Yeah, Leah, I'm so happy that you're up here. The facts that you're saying tonight, I 100% concur with them.
Yeah,
It is the law,
it's the law.
and when you are in a nasty custody battle, those questions will be asked. Now, I'm like, in my opinion, I am neither Martell or Melody because both of them are narcissists. However, when that judge came down on Melody and said that her communication, her not allowing the kids to, I believe, speak to him for 30 days. I believe that's what you wrote, what you said earlier, something in that nature. That weighed heavily on that judge. There has to be a line of open communication when the parent is not with the children at that particular time. They have free reign to call those children at any time, as long as there is no abuse allegations or anything like that with the kids. They should have open communications with those kids at any time. She can call those kids when she's not with them, and he should be able to call those kids when he's not with them. But it works both ways. Now we have to talk about the him wanting to know who's with his kids when she's not there. That is a viable question, and I'm glad that his lawyer brought that up in court, because let's say Martell dropped his kids off with coleslaw. Melody's kids off with coleslaw. There would have been an issue. That would have been an issue with Melody to have her kids with the other woman. So Martell's lawyer did do right by asking that question. Now, I don't agree with how Martell worded the question. He was dead wrong to say with her cousin that's gay.
I think it's the brother.
Or her brother that's gay. That was completely wrong. I mean, that doesn't matter. Straight people do stuff to kids, gay people do stuff to kids. But if he would have, that was his mindset, and I guess that's what he's worrying about. But when you go to court, most judges will ask, who's watching your kids when you're not around? Do you all have a mutual babysitter? Do you all have mutual daycare for the children? Now, another good point is when Martell says Melody, when she has custody, when it's her turn with the kids, she's not around them. She's out of town. That also weighs heavy on his side. Because
sorry, really quick, but Don, somebody said that Mel said on the show Martell had the kids around Ariane and she asked him not to.
Exactly. So if she asked him not to have the kids around Ariane, is it not viable for him to ask her not to have the kids around her brother? You can't have it both ways.
Duh, I get what you're saying, and you make perfect sense.
I agree.
But it almost kind of seemed like it's coming off like she's wrong for everything, but he can do whatever he wants to do. I'm not saying
no, that's not what he's. But that's not what he's saying.
Hold on, we gotta let her finish.
Sorry, I was saying that part. That's what I was saying. I know that's not what he's saying. I'm just saying, just from listening to what and this is not to done. We're talking about just what they read off, what happened in the court in the case. That Melody did this, Melody did that, da 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 da. But Martell has been shown acting out on the show publicly. His own baby mama, side chick, whatever we want to call her, have talked out about their children. And it's like none of it, for what I'm hearing, of course, we probably don't have all of the details of what happened in the case, that everything is what Melody did wrong, not as to how Martell did anything wrong or doing anything wrong.
I completely understand that. However, we have to take things at heed as a show for her saying what she feels is, on the show that's being produced, and what you can say in the court of law. So something is not adding up on both sides. If
Mm-hmm.
we don't think that her lawyers went to court with every piece of evidence that he's, quote, stalking, being everything under the book. If you don't think her lawyers went in and said that to that judge, and that judge still came down on her, there's some back stuff going on that we didn't know about. Because factually, women are awarded primary custody of children most of the time. That's not a law in the continental United States, but it happens more times than not.
Well,
It just is that way.
Just to point this out, one of the reasons why I brought this up in general was because a lot of the questions and stuff that we saw were for Melody from Martell. We didn't see Melody, just from what I saw in the documents, trying to be intrusive into his life. So to me, I know it's legal, but it still feels like there's a measure of control that he's trying to use the children to have over her. And I didn't like it.
I agree.
Now,
but let me say this. Oh, I'm sorry.
Legally, you know, she'll tell you it's absolutely legal that he had those questions in interrogatories, but I look at it from the human side. She was wrong. You had a baby on her. She was embarrassed on national TV. Now you want to get back with her. You're sending her bouquets and bouquets of flowers. I don't know what more you want from her, honestly. Like, I know that she has to allow the children to see their father, but dang, like you did this.
Ma'am.
Now you have to have access to me. Like,
okay, ma'am, can I add something into that?
Yeah.
Okay, so she knew about the cheating before the show started because they were.
It
No,
doesn't
wait, hold on.
Embarrassed.
Hear me out. Hear me out. They knew about the cheating before the show started. Mm-hmm. They were separated. They got back together to get on the show. Okay, and then all the first season it was, well, you should have kept your peen in the household. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Mm-hmm. You was with a no good ass, you know, nigga, you know, and I'm glad you left him. But
I didn't know that y'all were calling this man Hotel until today. Shout out to the people in my chat who.
I don't call him Hotel, but you know, let me tell you something. I'm just saying, when the courts look at it, they're going to look at what's in the best interest of the kids. And if you think those courts have not went through all those documents, it is definitely something there that they know that we don't know. Because it is true, the mom is the one that they usually favor, and they usually give the mom everything. Full custody, child support. It's usually not even a question. Like, the mom is usually on the right side. So for this judge to have been so bad, I don't know what happened. And I might need to go and take that little hour and a half drive to Madison County and find out. But I'm just saying, it's something. Okay, it just and Leah know it's something.
I will say this. Go ahead,
jump
Vince.
in. No, jump in.
I'll say this. The human element is, yeah, you know, we love our shows, and I get that, right? But one thing I just beg all of you to, if you can, find it in your hearts, because, like I said, nobody's seen the documents I have, Men's has. You all will, maybe, I don't know, we'll see how I feel. But what we have to remember is the judge doesn't know what we know, okay? Even if she watched the show, I'm sure her Honor Allison ain't up here in the chat.
I'm sorry, really quickly. Somebody I invited is in the chat here for the hot tea. You are more than welcome to come up. Somebody sent me her channel today. I would love to hear your opinion. So let me go ahead. This link is for here for the hot tea. You are more than welcome to come up. We got about 600 people in the chat. We should be at like 400 likes, and we are at 200. So y'all hit that like button. Legally, you got the floor.
Oh, thank you. Yes, y'all get the lights up. And what I'm saying is, though, the judge isn't in this world of social media. Look, you know, all marriage, you know, all that stuff. She's not in there. What she has is what's before her and the records that have been going back for years. And also based on what the parties have shown and said the evidence, that's what she goes on to make the decisions. And later on we could get deeper into the custody agreement and all those things and the analysis of her decision. We can get into that we can expound on that later. However, in this instance, the law is the law. So yes, he can ask passwords, and under some if it's relevant to the case, he can ask who's coming in and out. He can ask any of the questions. And here's the thing, and so can she. She had the right, and she, in the case, to ask him who's coming over. What are your passwords? So it goes both ways for both sides. So it is fair. Melody had every right to ask those questions herself. And I'm going to pause and let other people have it. Go in, America.
Here for that. I didn't see you
everybody.
backstage. Welcome to the channel.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me. What's the lawyer's name? Mia?
Or Leah. Yes, I'm a lawyer.
Oh, Leah.
Hey,
Oh, I'm sorry. Because I thought he was calling you legal lead.
Yeah, just call me.
I call
Leah.
her legally. Yeah.
Just call, yeah, you call me.
Okay.
Words,
Hi, everyone. I
Hey.
wanted to actually join the panel for the meters because one of the cast members always shading the millimeters, calling us the meters. And I like to say we heavy on the meter. But anyways, so part of the reason why I wanted to join this discussion, because too often I think that men, they get an excuse. They get excused for doing the bare minimum for their children. So Martell because a lot of women, y'all let me know if I'm wrong in the chat, but a lot of women, we seem to think that he does the bare minimum. He doesn't do no more or no less than any other single mom, here in the chat. And so I think that when you have a dad, no matter how abusive and how narcissistic he may be, because he appears to be trying, they completely overlook a lot of his behaviors. So when we have someone like the Don, who can be a good parent and a good co-parent on his end of the stick, come in and I guess ridicule an abuse victim, allegedly, about her way of disconnecting. Like, I don't know, that kind of makes me feel uneasy because she's a woman. A lot of times women that go through these abusive relationships, their boundaries get overlooked. And I am willing to bet Martell is not just calling Melody about her children.
I have a question. Has Martell
Yes.
ever been arrested for abuse in any way?
Well, I mean,
I
I don't know if we would know that, right?
I don't know.
Use the word the abuse to me is very strong, and I think that's an extreme. That's just my opinion. But
Right.
The word abuse to me.
Well, so the reason why I want to use the word abuse is because a lot of us who watch this show have gone through and been in relationships with men exactly like Martell or exactly like Marceau. So we know the signs. I can look at him and I can tell you exactly what he is because I know the signs. I've dated one and I was also raised by one. So that's why I'm very comfortable with throwing that out there. They all have similar traits.
Personal experience, but it sounds like, feels like, tastes like. Okay, gotcha.
I mean, that's a good question to ask legally, because what has happened is, y'all, we have tried these people in the court of public opinion. That's why a lot of times a lot of content creators won't touch it, because the fan base is very split down the middle. They believe what they believe, whether you support Martell, whether you support Melody. These fan bases do not play on Love and Marriage Huntsville. So sometimes we hear things, or somebody has said something, or somebody has alluded to something, and we kind of like form our own conclusions sometimes.
And a lot of people might be triggered in the chat, but they're right. Abuse is not just physical, it's emotional, it's financial, it's mental. It's so many other forms of abuse that is verbal. Yeah. So it's so many other forms of abuse. And when we watch this show, we are triggered by the way people receive these men, right? Because again, like I say, I don't know you, the Don, right? But you might be one of the men that are, you want to be there for your children. You probably won't give your wife or the mother of your children a hard time. You probably just really want to do what's best for the children. But a man that wants to control you is different. Like, you will probably be able to walk away and say, you know what, I just want to do, what's best for the kids. Let's focus on the kids. I'm only going to call you about the children. We can only focus on the kids. I'm not going to have our kids around, people, crazy people. I know you're not going to have our kids around crazy people. And then it can work. But like I said, like, Martell is an abuser in other ways, allegedly. And that's just my opinion. That's why he's so triggering to so many women.
One thing. Let me talk to Leah. Hold on. Let me think before I speak. Go ahead, man.
I want to say this. Ebony is another. So again, guys, I wasn't fully aware of your channel here for Hot Tea, but I subscribed today. Like I said, you seem like a really nice person, and I enjoyed your commentary. Ebony also, who is now on the panel. I heard your content today. I subscribed. Legally, there was somebody else that I just subscribed to today. What was their name? This afternoon.
I can say content creator. I can say content people names on your channel, man.
I'm not that kind of content creator. What was her name? She seemed like a nice lady. She was sharing some good stories. What was her name?
Hey Girl Hey.
Hey Girl Hey.
Hey Girl Hey.
Love her.
Guys,
hey girl,
these content creators come out, and what they're doing is they're giving you commentary about something that they find interesting. What we can't do is, like, because I saw people, in different people's chats, like, attacking them and stuff like that. And really, it's just about conversations. That's why I personally took the time to invite these ladies here so that we could have these conversations.
And the gentleman.
Thank you.
Don's here.
I wasn't. No, of course, I appreciate Don's input, but I personally invited Sean here for the Hot Tea and Ebony.
I thought you was rolling up or something.
Quick question to Leah and Mims. You all have the documents. Was there a guardian ad litem awarded to the children during the custody?
Yeah.
So the guardian ad litem did, in fact, talk to the kids to find out if there was any abuse at either parent's home to the kids.
Hold on.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know that. Don't ask me that.
What I will say about that part of your question is, we can be upset, or people can be upset at the judge for coming down on Martell or coming down on Melody. But as Rainy Rain said, not about the kids. Yes, the kids were at the forefront of these conversations. I just chose not to disseminate all of the information that was there that was pertaining to, what we did with the kids and who gets this weekend and holidays. That wasn't what I chose to do. And I'm never going to be the content creator who says, well, go to my Patreon and I'll have all the documents.
Right.
I saw something that I did not feel good about the judge coming down on Melody and all of those questions and the interrogatories being asked to Melody when I felt she was the injured party. And that's why I chose to bring the story to you guys, because I was like, am I the only one who sees this? Yes, it might be legal, but I just feel like there is control issues. And now you're using the courts to control. You guys can agree or disagree, but that was the whole point of the video. Ebony, I want to let you jump in.
Hi. Hi to everyone on the panel. I do have a few things that
Hold on. I'm going to mute everybody else because there's some background. And Ebony, would you mind speaking up just a little?
Yes. So today, because of the information that was put out with regards to the judge coming down on Melody, and also with the questions that was being asked. And I know there's a lawyer, I don't know her name, but hi. Can you explain to me, if Martell and Melody is no longer together and it's a year or so later, why is he asking any question after the divorce?
Well, I'll answer this in the best way possible.
Thank
What
you.
we're talking about now in this case is a custody case and not the divorce case.
Right.
And so while the marriage may be over, them kids is forever. And so specifically here, we're talking about custody. And so yes, divorce is over, that's done, but these kids still remain.
Okay.
Does that answer your question? I hope so.
No,
It's
she
not
wants to know specifically about what the judge was saying. And I think legally said earlier, the issue for all of those interrogatories was in order to determine how much money Mel had. It was all about determining like a dollar amount if he were to win the child support.
Or who she sleeping with, what concern? How does that have like anything to do with the custody case is my question. Like those questions should not concern him. And there's no way that the judge should have even allowed, if it happened, allowed those questions to go through.
Well, that's the beauty of the law. Because like it's one thing, like I said, it's not Martell asking the questions to be nosy. And the way child support is determined in Alabama in most jurisdictions is by income, financial documents that are needed to prove the income. And it's just for evidence. It's not to get anybody's bank account, who she, where she flew somebody out to, got flued out to, what he did. It's not for any of that. It's just to see, can this person financially sustain the children, or can this person do it, or can they do it together? And how do we know that they can do that? Because we have the bank records and all the financial statements to prove it. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay. I just want to just give my opinion, if that's okay with you, Memes.
Yeah, I know you're new to this channel, but like I said, I support a lot of different channels, and here you are more than welcome to state your opinion as long as you are not cursing me out.
Oh no. I am just disgusted by this. And yes, I am a millimeter. I'm a full-blown millimeter now, and I'm proud of it. I stand with her. I understand what she's going through, but this entire thing that Martell is doing, it's just not right. He's not doing it for the kids' purpose. That's my opinion. I don't think it has anything to do with the kids. I think it's basically just trying to understand Mel's moves, where she is, who she's with. I mean, Mel literally said it in one of the episodes last week that he is still stalking her. So how does sending her flowers, still stalking her, has anything to do with the custody that he's walking around on these tours talking about?
Do we know if Melody went to the police and filed a stalking case yet?
We're not aware of that, no.
Okay.
No, I just found it on an interview that she said, and that was part of the reason why I did the video, because I was like, wow, I didn't even know that. I saw what happened on the show, and I was like, why does he need to walk her to the car? She already said no.
Yeah. But what
right. So are you talking about that case are you talking about when she said that someone hacked her phone?
Even that.
Make it make sense.
She was talking. There's an interview that Melody said specifically that Martell was trying to get back with her. He sent her 10 dozen roses that she had in her garage.
I've seen that.
And yeah, that from my video from earlier.
I've seen that.
So again, and there's something that was said today that he's doing this and setting an example for men or fathers who are interested in their kids' well-being. I'm gonna beg to differ. I don't think it has anything to do with the kids, but more to do with what his ex-wife is doing. That's just my opinion again.
Well, one thing I must say, and Lord knows I feel for all of you who have been through your situations in life, but just because you were abused and mistreated, whatever, by your man doesn't mean that Martell did it to you. And I'm not Martell.
That's very nasty to say. First, that's very nasty to say. To say, oh, just because you were abused by your man, even if you're trying to make a point, that's nasty to say to people that were actually abused. A lot of people, like me, myself, I wasn't actually ever abused by my man, but I grew up with a narcissistic father. So I say that to say, Martell and my dad are literally I don't even want to go there because y'all like to say, oh, well, you're taking your personal experience and you're, adding it into this situation. Anyone that has gone through the situation has had these experiences. And if you want to open up the conversation to abuse victims, you wouldn't say it that way. Like, that's just rude, and I'm sorry.
Well, hold on. So I want to say this.
If I may.
Really quickly, Lee. So this is a open forum for everybody to share their thoughts, their opinions, and what my channel, like, I'm unique in this. I invite people who are millimeters. I invite people who don't like the millimeters. I invite everybody so that we can have like a meeting of the minds. Right. I don't think that legally meant purposefully to offend anybody or abuse victims. I don't think
she did either, but she has to be aware that it is offensive.
Well,
I deeply apologize for offending you. That was not my intent, and I am so sorry. And my point is that as hurtful as that was to you, it may also be hurtful to someone else, and maybe Martell, to be called a stalker and abusive if that's not the case. To be accused of being a criminal and that's also hurtful. So we don't want anyone to be hurt. And I'm not Team Martell. I'm just team of fairness. And so that's why I keep saying, has Melody accused him of stalking? I mean, and if she like it, I love it. It's like no one can be more upset about than Melody is, and that's it.
And what she let me paraphrase really quickly. I can't speak for Leah, but I can tell you that me and Leah had multiple conversations about this topic, and whereas I come from the emotional side, legally comes from the legal side. And so, sometimes she will stop me short. Do I think that people, I actually said it on my video, I think that people, like, Melody has become a beacon of light for a lot of people who have dealt with abuse, who have come out on the other side, survived and thrived, I think is the term that I used. And I think that is the connection that a lot of people have with her. You know what I mean? A lot of people have been hurt. A lot of people have, experienced, like, if you have children with somebody, the whole cheating thing and the divorce, it's like a loss of life. So I think, that is the connection. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, Ebony, or here for Hot Tea. Has Melody become kind of like a beacon for hope for those who have gone through, similar things?
I'll go first. Yes. And if you follow her, you'll see stories of women who are giving their testimony of how Mel helped her. I mean, she helped me, and I appreciate her, and that's why I support her so strongly. And like, here for the Hot Tea state that there is men like Martell who, abuse us I don't want to use that word so loosely, but abuse women in so many different ways. And Mel has spoken on it. She spoke about the stalking. She spoke about his behavior. And she also used the word as he's a narcissist. So we're not just throwing words out here loosely because we're millimeters or we're fans of Mel. We're speaking on things that we actually see with our eyes. And what Mel has posted, what Martell has posted. Martell is not like who everyone or what he's trying to portray in them tight suit. Period.
No. Well, we all agree that we all just mediums. It's too snug of them nuts.
Can I say something else?
Some tight ass. I agree.
Okay. We can all agree to disagree because here's my thing. Okay. None of us know these people in real life. We're taking snippets of maybe 2 hours. I mean, there's snippets of hours that they're recording. You see what I'm saying? And we're getting it snipped down and edited. Okay. So none of you know the exact things that's going on. We only know what they'll say in interviews on social media or even the edit parts that's on the show. So I don't want anybody to get wrapped up in reality TV like it's the God or the Bible.
Amen. Amen. Yeah.
Hey,
And
Mims, can I say something, please?
Yes.
Hold on, really
Um,
quick. I wanna address Vanessa. And then we got to let Butterfly speak, and then definitely Don jump in. But Miss Miller, we kind of discussed this at the very beginning. No, these were not sealed. We did not, obtain anything illegally, nor just on a personal choice. I chose not to post this. I just picked out a few things that I thought did not pass the smell test from the documents that I had. I never said that this was the final judgment or anything like that. I saw that narrative going around. That's not what I did. I just saw something that I didn't think passed the smell test. And on this channel, I like to open up these kind of conversations because maybe somebody else felt like it didn't pass the smell test, and that was the point of it. But no, these documents were not sealed, and that's how we were able to access them. So I think Butterfly.
Yeah. I just want to thank you, Mims, for trying to. I mean, I know on one aspect you gave your personal opinion, and on the other aspect, you're sharing actual factual information. I think, and unfortunately, a lot of Melanie's fans have made the show very toxic and make people not even want to watch it because they do go too hard. They dox, they do a lot of stuff that's unnecessary. You can agree with somebody, you can uphold somebody, you can celebrate somebody, but they do a lot of tearing down, they do a lot of doxing, they do a lot of threatening. It's like if you don't agree with them, then it's like the stuff that they're accusing Martell of doing to Melanie, they in turn to do to other people. So I don't like two wrongs never make a right. Two wrongs never make a right. Two wrongs never make a right. You know what I'm saying?
Can
And
we have an example?
I don't watch a lot of them because a lot of them are biased. Like Homeboy in the Corner, thank you so much for speaking up because I also believe Melanie's a narcissist right along with Martell. There's stuff that Melanie do that's not okay, but there's stuff that they both do that's not okay. But I think
can
that
we have an example because y'all throw that out there, but y'all never
Hold on.
Anybody.
I'll let you respond. I think Butterfly said specifically that she knows somebody who was doxxed by a millimeter. So that's the example. Is that fair to say?
Like they dox them. If you don't agree with them, they'll hound you down. It's like they try to make you want to, make you want to be on her side. And like a couple of people up here said, they're not on anybody's side. They're trying to look at it from a neutral and an open lens. To think that he doesn't have a right to know who his kids be around, that's to me, that doesn't make any sense. Just like Melanie has the right to know who they be around. You see what I'm saying? That makes sense for both parents. And Melanie, they always talk about what Melanie said, but Melanie also said that Martell was a good father. But they seem to skip over that. They want to erase all of that.
Like to elaborate on that as well. Because a lot of
hold on, 1 sec. Hold on. So, Butterfly, I want you to finish your thought here for the hot tea. You will get to respond right after that. And then Don, I'm so sorry. Right after here for the hot tea does her response. The floor is yours, my guy.
Yeah, I just, what I'm saying, Melanie said that Martell's a good father. She said that all first season. And at the end of the day, and I agree with the lawyer, they throw around a lot of words because they seeing things that they identify with, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's going on. And I think a lot of the reason why there's a lot of confusion and why there's so much is because there's a lot of oversharing of information from one party that shares everybody else's information. And because they want to go up for Melanie so hard, they do a lot of nasty, distasteful stuff. And I don't watch a lot of them because they are biased and they only see things one way. If it ain't Melanie's way, then it's screw everybody else. Or we can dox everybody else. We can trash everybody else. We can harass everybody else. And I don't think that's fair. And I don't think that's right. Like, I don't have a problem with you wanting to worship the lady, but don't make it, y'all, like even Mems, prime example, you did a video sharing information. You got bombarded. And that's why I know you came back with this panel because you got bombarded with people who felt like you was wrong for sharing that information. But when they get information on other cast members, they think this.
Okay, so let me respond really quick. Hold on 1 second, Butterfly. No, I did this video. I had already told legally once I got this information, I want to open up this conversation so everybody can kind of talk. So, but Butterfly is not wrong. I had a lot of people in my chat are in my comments who said, he's a liar, he's this or that. And the one thing that I'm known for on YouTube is shady but fair. For anybody who's new to my channel, I really do try to be fair, even to some of the people who are nasty. So when I would have those comments, people are like, I would just go in the comment and say, well, did you see the video? And they said, no, they might have been, triggered by the title. And I let them know what I read was exactly what I put in the title. I was shocked that the judge literally said, Martell was the one who was trying and Melody wasn't. That's why it was the title of the video. There was no
And I kind of
clickbait.
feel like how the judge
Hold on one
feels.
second,
So I
Butterfly.
think the judge
Hold on 1 second, Butterfly. There was no clickbait in that title. That was my raw human emotion after I read those documents, and I was truthfully surprised. But I don't want to paint all millimeters with the ones who might have been in my chat saying ugly things to me. Some people curse me out. I think I don't delete comments unless it's like curse words and stuff like that, because that kind of stuff can get you flagged by YouTube. I like to let everybody have their own opinion. But
ma'am, is it okay if I ask who is worshiping Mel? Just because-
no, hold on 1 second, Ebony, because I told here for the hot tea she could respond. I just wanted to respond to that one part for Butterfly. No, I was gonna have this conversation. When people say don't do something, I usually embrace it because I want to hear what everybody has to say. That's the unique thing about my channel.
Hey, ma'am, after the done, come back to me.
Okay, here for the hot tea. You're up.
Okay, sorry, because I'm one of the probably one of the what y'all call them, the melanuts. Okay, but yes, like they call, because they say we're nutty, like we're nutty, like we have nutty behavior. And I'm probably one of the biased bloggers for sure, right? Because I like to say that as a woman, because I'm a woman's woman. I identify as a woman before anything else. As a woman, when I looked at Mel's story, even Tisha, I actually really feel sorry for Tisha as well. Like I want to be able to relate to her on a different level. But anyways, that's for a different story. As far as Melody, when you look at her story, I don't see how any woman, right, in their right mind would be able to co-sign some of the things that Martell has done. Just as a woman that lives in a patriarchal society that is dominated by men, if we do not speak up as women and stand together when certain things are just outright wrong, then a lot of times we're going to have this, and so I'm sorry, y'all like to throw shade at us and say, oh, we're over empathizing, or we're adding our story into her story, which is why we go so hard. But you have to ask yourself, as a woman, why can you not go that hard? Or why can you not have any empathy or understand what that would feel like to have your children, or to have a man that had cheated on you for 5+ years, allowed his side chick to disrespect you? I'm talking to the women right now. Allowed his side chick to disrespect you for all of those years. And then, I'm sorry, because you seem to be a logical person. So because you said, you felt emotions based on what he was asking her. Knowing their history, any good woman would. So going back to what I was saying though, he cheated on his woman for all these years. He has a side chick disrespect her. Allegedly in her house. That's what the side chick said once upon a time. Then he publicly bashes her after the fact, right? And then tries to take her to court for full custody of her children after all of that. And then on top of that, none of the other women on the show could even empathize with her, even though they all have children. I think a lot of y'all I think a lot of y'all are missing a point. We're empathetic, right? We can have empathy for another woman that is almost about to lose her children. And some of y'all are able to resonate with men more than women because you're male identified, and we don't like to talk about that issue within our community. right? A lot of women are male identified and would do anything for male attention or male acceptance because they were never chosen, ever. And that is just my opinion. Whether you weren't chosen by your father, whether you weren't chosen by any other men in the neighborhood, or whether your baby daddy didn't choose you, right? You take offense when women choose boundaries and pick themselves over the struggle because you chose the struggle. That's just my opinion when it comes to some of y'all. I'm not saying all of y'all, but a lot of y'all women are male identified, and that's it. You can have sympathy for a woman without going as hard as maybe a person like me would go. Like I can have sympathy for her, but like Destiny, like co-signing Martell, hanging out with him, even going as far as saying that Melody, somebody that was in a relationship with a narcissist, because I know y'all don't want to put names on people, but that is what he is, in my opinion. That there's a trauma that comes from that you have to heal from, that nobody also want to talk about, but y'all want to throw names on an abuse victim and call her a narcissist. And then one of you also said, "Oh, but I care about both of them. I don't care about Mel no more than I care about Martell." But again, like I said, when you look at the things that he's done, it's hard to have empathy for a man like that.
I want to say this before I move on to the Don, then Ebony, then In My Opinion.
Then Legally
attack and Legally Leah. Please do not attack Butterfly or Here for the Hot Tea. It's just their opinion. And if there's ever going to be a bridging of this gap,
we have to have these kind of
time. And see, that's what I'm saying. You can't. If your opinion don't agree with them, that's what they do. They will attack you.
I don't want to have to mute anybody, but hold on. Butterfly, you just said the same thing that she just said. If we could come to spaces where we can just share our opinion open and honestly, then there should not be a concern for getting attacked. You two ladies who are on opposite ends of the spectrum are saying the exact same thing. You share your opinion and you get attacked by the other side. But it shouldn't be like that, because technically it's just a TV show that we like to watch. And you typically, in an ensemble cast, somebody's story resonates with you. That's why these shows have good ratings, right? So we are kind of saying the same thing in the sense that we just want to be able to share our thoughts, our opinions, our values, our morals in open spaces and open panels without the fear of somebody like coming for our throats. So I want to let the Don talk, then Ebony, then In My Opinion, then Legally. And if you two ladies Here for the Hot Tea and Butterfly, jump in. But let's do it in a way that we do not attack each other, because it is just our opinions. So
I just want to say this. Those are not Mel's kids. Those are not Martell's kids. Those kids are both of theirs. So we can't say that he tried to take her kids away. Those are not just hers. They don't belong just to her. They're equal.
If she was trying to get full custody, I would say she's trying to take his kids.
Though the kids don't belong to any parent. They belong to both parents. Mel is a great mother. As the judge says, Martell, I haven't seen anything to make Martell a bad father. Martell and Melody divorced. Martell and Melody did not divorce their kids. Mm-hmm. This topic is about the kids and the child support and thus. Now, if Melody felt like she was being stalked for all of those years, there are police stations for that, where she could go and file paperwork on him for stalking, for doing anything criminal to her. And as of yet, we have not heard anything in any of her interviews, any of his interviews, where she has done that. If she's being abused if any woman in this chat is being abused, don't sit on your hands. Go file a police report so you can be protected. And as of yet, she hasn't done that. The judge does not feel that he is a bad father. Yes, he cheated on her 4,000 times. That does not make him a bad father.
Right, but what makes him a bad father is his behaviors after that divorce.
Neither one,
That's
neither,
why we feel
neither,
like that.
neither. None of that makes him a bad father. That makes him it's still bad for
No
Mel,
good father
but
would
not.
take their no good father
Can
would
I
take the
please
mother of their
finish? Can I
children
Oh
to
yeah,
please
we
court
gotta,
for
finish?
full
yeah,
Can
custody
I
of their
we
please
kids.
gotta, we
finish?
gotta let him. Hold on,
Can I
Man
please
is
hold
finish?
on,
talking, lady. Let him
hold
finish.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. All nope.
Like,
We're
who's
not.
yelling? Grow
This is
up.
not this kind of panel,
Get
guys.
it together.
We have to let the Don finish his thought.
Okay, so I don't think he's a bad father because he cheated on Mel. We
Me
have to
either.
we have to separate the two. Their
I don't think that
relationship.
either, though.
Oh my
We're
God.
agreeing.
Hold on, but we gotta.
I'm
Here's
cutting
what I
him
think.
off because we are
He can't
agreeing.
Hold
finish
on,
now.
but
I'm
hold
cutting
on.
him off
We
because
have.
we are
Hold on. I'm gonna
agreeing.
have.
They're misinterpreting my words.
Well, yeah, we just have to let him finish nonetheless, and then respond after that. That way, we can still have like a person to person kind of
Right.
conversation because
Who is yelling
everybody's opinion
like a
matters.
child?
Yeah,
Huh?
we have to
Somebody
separate
asked who
those.
was yelling.
We have
Sorry, the dog.
to learn how to separate those two relationships. The marriage was toxic as hell. But I do believe that both of them, Mel and Martell, are fantastic parents. If not, he would not have any rights to those kids at all. And just because we feel that he may stalk her, he sent her 40 dozen roses, he wants to know, that has nothing to do with the children. So if she feels that she needs to uh, put papers on him that he can't contact her outside of the kids, then she needs to take that next step. And she hasn't done so yet. Any woman in this chat, like I said, that feels that you're being abused by a man, take that next step. But it has nothing to do with those children. If they need to meet at the police station for custody, there are things happen like that in the custody agreement to meet at the police station because of instances like this. There are apps where you can communicate with the other parent so you don't have to call. That's something that her lawyers should put to use because obviously his lawyers is taking her to task. And
I
her
agree
lawyers
with
are
you,
not coming
Dedan.
up to her lawyers are not standing up.
Okay, but can I just say what I wanted to clear up, right? Is that I'm not saying that I think he's a bad dad because of the cheating. That is not why majority of us think he's a bad dad. We think that he's a bad dad because, in my opinion, no good dad or no good father would take a woman to court for full custody of their children if she isn't abusing the children or she isn't posing any harm for the children or anything, especially when she left the divorce with them sharing the custody. So that was the only thing that I was trying to say. Everything else that happened after the cheating, is what we feel is why he's a good dad. I mean, why is what we feel is why he isn't a good dad, because everything else they could have just co-parented effectively. What happened in a marriage happened in a marriage. It is what it is, and let it be done. But you have to. I don't know if y'all know, but they did 50. They split 50-50 custody, and then Martell took her to court for full custody of the children. So who isn't really being cooperative?
Hold on. So we got to let Ebony jump in because she's been waiting. In my opinion.
Okay. I'm with here for the hot tea, but let's be clear on some things. When the divorce happened and they were doing their own thing, the 50-50 custody, it was working fine until Martell, who wanted to try and get his wife back, and when he see that his plan wasn't working, he keeps taking Mel to court. Roller coaster, roller coaster, roller coaster, right? Now, Don said something about stalking. There's so many ways that a person can stalk you, and no amount of restraining order, no amount of nothing can stop a person who is stalking you from even getting to you. And we see this with men killing, unaliving, I should say, women. So no amount of papers is going to stop someone from stalking you. Mel said it, that he is still stalking her, right? So I disagree with what you said in regards to we should go down to the police office and no, restraining orders don't work anymore.
Well, I think Dunn also maybe you take it into a lot of abuse victims don't actually come forward. So that is a thing. So I think maybe what we should be doing is, instead of what some people are doing now, we should be encouraging people to go to the court and go to the police, go to the police station when their partners aren't making them feel safe. Like, we should advocate for that versus calling this woman.
We're saying the same.
See how we're doing that? The people who support her, the people who support Mel, we finally have come to some common ground, people. They said it could not be done, but we're having some common ground. I'm liking this. I'm liking this.
Thing is, let me just say this, that no, Martell did not think Mel was a bad mom when he was with her. When he was with her, she was
exactly. We can say the same thing. That's a good one. I didn't even catch that.
Together, and she's moving on with her life, and he's still even going on his tour talking about let her live her good life. I'm gonna wish her the best. I'm gonna always love her. No, you're gonna always stalk her. Let's be clear. That's all I have to say about that.
Well, I appreciate that we're having some common ground. I want to do my super chats really quick. Cecile says, please invite Tay Talks to the panel. I'm assuming that when Tay Talk is actually the person who just popped in, so I didn't even have to. Tay Talks is here. Thank you so much, Succeed. And Deep Conversations with Sean says, thanks, Mims, for the invite and having me up. I support other content creators. It was really nice having you on the panel, Sean. A lot of you guys who watched this show know Sean. We have, I think that was it for the super chats. I think. Y'all, we have like almost 800 people in here. Oh, I know there's one more super chat. Rain1 says, asking for full custody was a passive-aggressive move to attack Mel. Men will use their kids to hurt you. Now, Rain1, I'm a straight shooter. I definitely don't think that he thought that his kids were at any risk with Mel having full custody. I do think it's passive aggressive, but I'm also a fair person. And if the courts say that you have to let your kids have access to the children via phone or some other device, then you need to make that happen. I'm a straight shooter.
I do agree with that. If anything, she could have just got the burner phone if he sent her any messages that had nothing to do with the children, document it and let them know, like, this is why I don't want to have communications with him. So I do agree with that for sure.
Y'all, we got 2 times that we're in agreement. See how that works? As long as you're respectful. I'm going to let, in my opinion, jump in because she was next, and then cue the content guy. Then
I was after, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm sorry. After, in my opinion, it's legally, then cue, then when Tay talks. Tay, are you a content creator?
I am. How you doing, Mills? It's my first time up here.
Welcome to the channel. Everybody's welcome. Jump in my opinion.
Okay, so I only had one thing at first. Okay, so let me tell you, everything I'm finna say is my opinion. Okay, first of all. Okay, so the first thing is, I saw somebody in the chat say that Mel paid for Martell to go to school. It's not true. He had a football scholarship. Look it up. Second thing is, I want to respond with what her name is? Hot what?
Here for hot tea.
Here for hot tea.
I also want to say that there's a video that Martell said that he said out his own mouth that Mel paid for his school.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, check with Alabama A&M. It's on their records that his college scholarship was paid for by football.
Hold on, here for hot tea. We gotta let her finish.
Hold on. Then you said, okay, so I just want to go back. You said that women are male identified, okay? So first of
Some.
all, had my dad in my life my whole time, okay? My husband is in the next room right now, okay? So clearly
I don't want anecdotal evidence.
I don't fall in any one of
Hold
those
on,
categories.
we gotta let her finish
Okay.
because as you see,
So
we keep meeting on some common ground. So we gotta just let her finish. We don't know, right? Please finish.
here's my thing. From Alabama, okay? So here's the thing, okay? Just because we see a clip of somebody's life for 10, 15, 20, however many minutes, doesn't mean we know the full story. Just
We don't
because
have to have
Neil,
a full story to see a piece of the
I didn't interrupt you at all. Please don't do that.
Just have to we just have to let her finish her thoughts. You'll definitely have a chance to
I
respond.
know she just gotta calm down and take deep breaths.
Hold on. Okay, now here for the hot tea. Now
Oh, no,
I know
like
what you
that.
just.
Saying
Now I
like,
know what you
no,
just
not
did
like
there.
that.
Here
I
for the
wasn't
hot.
I'm being so serious. I'm being
I know
so
what you
serious.
just did.
I'm
Y'all,
being so
if
serious.
we're gonna have these
Well, you need
conversations,
to be
with
so
people,
unserious.
hold on. In my
Or
Jesus,
what?
Jesus in the rain. Okay, if we're gonna have these kind of
This is what I was
conversations,
trying to tell you, ma'am. I was
no,
trying to tell you.
I can guarantee I can control my channel. If we're gonna have these conversations where people share their opinions, we just have to respect one another. It's just a conversation amongst like-minded. It looks like all black people. I can't see some of y'all, but I think it's all black people.
Mims, you ain't black, remember? Mims ain't black according to the streets.
Now you know they got some new people here. Don't be saying that. Somebody say that I wasn't black and I didn't want to talk about it. I definitely am. I'm a black person, proud to be black. Anyway, please continue. In my opinion, please don't please don't incite any violence. Here for the hot tea. Let's just have a conversation.
I'm a mute. I just be trolling. That's my problem. I need to just stop. That's my problem.
I thought you were funny. That's why I invited you. Please finish.
Yeah,
in my
people be
opinion,
taking me too serious.
Okay, so whatever happened in your life, you cannot put it into this, okay? And the reason why the Don said she needs to file a police report is because all that stuff can go into court. If you feel like you can't communicate with him because he's stalking you or because he's harassing you, then yes, you can call the police. Madison County courthouse is open. Okay, you can file a police report. Okay, but it's not to be no documentations on him, and then everybody putting these titles on him. That's unfair too. And I'm for what's right. Okay, I'm not a millimeter. I'm not a hotel, whatever. I ain't checking into the hotel. Okay, I ain't none of that. Okay, I'm for what's right. Yeah, whatever it is. You know what? I feel like he's for the streets. Okay, he was not a good husband. He is not a good man. Okay, he's not what we would classify a good man. Okay, but we can't put titles on. I mean, I keep seeing people put these titles on him. He's abusive and he's this. If he is, then she got a way to document that and have it put in court. Have it in those
papers. I do agree, but I think you saying physical abuse. I think what we
I know. I'm not saying just physical abuse because in Alabama you can have physical, mental, all that documented. If it's affecting you and your children, you can have it documented. So if she feels like this is something that's happening that she needs to protect herself and her kids from, then she can have it documented.
She did. That's why she divorced him.
She didn't because it's not in the courts.
I went ahead and muted everybody else. Please finish in my opinion, and maybe don't reference a particular person. That might help.
Okay. All I'm saying is it seems ridiculous that we're sitting here fighting over some people. You don't know, we don't know the whole situation. We just know what they say in the interview, what they say on social media, and what snippets that we see on the reality show that's been edited.
Okay, that's your fair opinion. I think Legally was next, right?
Yes.
Okay. Please don't incite any violence.
I would never.
Okay.
During the current trial, this court has found the testimony of both parents to be less than genuine. Each parent can only recall testimony in their favor, but evasive in other respects. Regardless of the frankness of their testimony, the court acknowledges that the father has made positive strides and is placing his children's best interests first. However, the court cannot find the same for the mother. In this late stage of litigation, the mother has continued to demonstrate to this court an inability to co-parent. She has blocked the father from. Let me tell you something, lady. I can be very.
No. Just finish. No. Legally, I got it. Just please finish your statement. Everybody else is muted.
Thank you.
I promise.
Where was I? Okay, I'm going to continue with the reading of the word. Where was I?
I don't know that it's the word,
I'll just
but
go.
okay.
No, we're going to go over here. During the current trial, the court has found. Let's see if there's that. Here we go. Regardless of the frankness of their testimony, the court acknowledges that the father has made positive strides and is placing his children's best interests first. However, the court cannot find the same for the mother. In this late stage of litigation, the mother has continued to demonstrate to this court an inability to co-parent. She has blocked the father from her previous cell phone on multiple occasions and, by her own admission, blocked him for periods in excess of 1 month. Additionally, by her own admission, she acquired a new cell phone in October 2022 and has failed to give the father her phone number, a clear violation of this court's parenting clauses. See paragraph 2B. And if y'all keep pushing me, I'm gonna drop the dots. Me and Miss will talk about it. In my opinion, check your DMs. We could do a collab. I'm gonna keep reading the word. I'm not done.
Okay, legally, I know you are reading the actual court documents. Can you please tell us where are your thoughts with this specifically?
My thoughts are right here. The mother testified that she requires the father to contact her through her work email only. The mother further testified that she does not let her children have cell phones that the father purchased for them during her custodial weeks of custody. Therefore, the father has no way of contacting his minor children during the mother's week of custody unless the mother sees the father's request via her work email. More concerning to this court, the father has no way of communicating with the mother if an emergency exists with the minor children. This was clearly illustrated when the father had to contact an associate to notify the mother via social media, DM her as she says, to contact the father regarding issue of one of the party's minor children. And I'm done.
So, okay. What were you saying there legally?
I'm just saying what the court said because I'm unbiased, and that's what I'm here for.
So that was the point that legally, I assume legally was trying to make that.
Because if I say that's
So you're saying you're team kids, just to paraphrase.
I'm saying I'm team court. I'm team law. I'm team fairness. But I can. If you want my opinion, like for real, the only mistake Melody made was pledging AKA. That's all I got to say.
Jesus Christ. Okay, thank you, legally. What is going? We're gonna bring this down a little bit. We're gonna bring this down. Satra said, did Mel throw away the roses or were they kept in the garage? In the interview, Mel said that she got the roses and she put them in the garage. She didn't say she kept them. I know I keep my trash cans in my garage, so she might have thrown them away, Satra. Thank you for the super chat. We got a couple more. We got Reigns already. There was a yellow one. The chat is moving fast. I want to say I appreciate you guys because there's a lot of people from a lot of different sides of this argument. And for the most part, y'all are definitely being respectful and I appreciate it. Prissy says,
I do have something, if I may, real quick.
You then just read that whole thing and incited some violence. Now you got something to say.
I do. No, because I didn't know. I told you I was going to keep my hat on, but you asked my opinion. Now I got to give it. No, just real quickly. Okay. Going back to, in my opinion's point, my homegirl's point about being male identified. It's this, because yes, like in my opinion, I know it's because we're from the same city, Birmingham love, but my father was married to my mother until the day she died on March 3rd, 2021. Was he the greatest husband? No. But I mean, so everybody has different stories. And so one person's experience is another one's. And so in my opinion, listen, I'm not married and she has a husband right next door. I have my puppy next to me. Where you find love, that's where you get it from. And I hope you find it too. Amen.
You'll find
Amen.
it, girl.
I just want to say this real quick. I don't
I
like
got
when
one for you
people
too,
do that.
legal.
Thank. Oh, come on, to my DM. Slide him in my DM.
This is
Thank
not a
you.
matchmaking
Oh, don't worry.
service
We
tonight.
gonna hook up.
Okay, Prissy, thank you for that legally. Prissy says, as parents, even if we're not together, we both have to be able to communicate. If our child is with you, I need to be able to get in touch. The kids can have a phone that they can use to communicate with. I do think that that is now what's in the order. And like I said, I'm a fair person. The whole not being able to communicate with your children, I don't agree with. Unless there is some actual like abuse for the children, then whatever. But for the human side of me, I understand that Mel may not want someone to have access to her who harasses her, who's trying to get back together with her, who finds, any way to reach out. So I can get both sides, the legal side and the emotional side. Thank you, Prissy. I think I got like one more. Then I think it's Q's turn, and we got Wente Talk and Shay Renee online. So thank you so much, the Real Estate Insider. A lot of people have been talking about you. Are you in trouble with Claudia Jordan? Because a lot of people have been talking about you. So DM me later and we'll have to figure out what's going on. But I think you're in trouble with Claudia Jordan. She don't like you.
Did you take her house down? He took it down.
I really do.
Mary Kelly says, hey, when Tay talks, don't put Cookie in no mess. I'm assuming that's an inside joke. Thank you, Mary Kelly. And I think that's
Can I just clarify one thing, Mims? Martell took her to court for full custody because he had stated he tried to work out with her the babysitting situation. So it wasn't about him wanting control. Like the judge said, Melanie refuses to work with him. His issue was her having so many different babysitters.
But they were working together before.
How do you know? It seems like
that's what he said.
Nope. It's Q's turn. Nope. We jumped and then we're arguing back and forth. We have just made some strides.
Like the arrangement was 50-50. He ruined it because Mel don't want his tights to end.
That's your opinion. Martell said he tried
not doing it. Butterfly, guys. It's Q's turn. Because we got some new people up here. We're bridging the gap. Come on, Q. Please don't incite violence.
Oh, all I can say is Jerry.
Jerry.
Thank you for bringing us Jerry today, Mims. I appreciate it. Because you don't never let us carry on like this.
Thank you.
What I wanted
it's because he got the melon nuts on his channel today.
Oh.
Yeah, they throwing stones.
Anyway, I'm gonna talk because I ain't interrupt nobody. So what I'm saying is, was Carlisha down at the courthouse with the camera to film all of this? Carlisha King, was he down at the camera for at the courthouse?
You know what?
That's all I'm trying to figure out. Does anybody know that question? Was Carlisha King down at the courthouse trying to film this to put it on next season show? That's what I want to know. So that's a very important question. So if anybody on the chat can answer this question, or in the panel can answer that question,
I can't say I did see someone matching that description on Fox 5, but it's Carlos King. Yeah, oh my God, push him mute.
No, but I can guarantee you. Never mind. Let me shut up. No violence.
No violence. I like that. See.
So I don't watch the show. Last time I watched the show, they was tussling in the parking lot. I was just here for the mess. I will say that as I know cast members on Love and Marriage DC, I know cast members that they necessarily don't put their real lives on the camera. So I don't know about Martell and Melanie, but at the same time, all of this that they're doing right now is going to just be a storyline for next season. And everybody's up. Well, not everybody, but people are up here, going off on this and that. It's a TV show at the end of the day. They got to pay their bills. They're up here to get their check. It ain't never that deep. Reality TV has gotten too dark. And I just think that we just got to have fun with it and stuff like that. So.
All right. Well, thank you for your input. You didn't set too many fires. So I appreciate that coming from you.
I don't set fires.
Topic change. What about Marceau's hips? Does Marceau have hips?
A lot of them.
Legs and breasts.
That is my mega sci-fi brother. Or shout out to the bros. Y'all gonna leave him alone.
Like hips like Corey Gamble? Okay, I didn't know he had hips. All right, well,
and
shout out to his hips.
He has legs, hips, and breasts.
Body, yes.
Okay. When Tay Talks, welcome to the channel. I know it's your first time. It's been kind of crazy. We're not usually like this, but this is a hot topic. So jump in.
Hello, Mims. Thank you for letting me up. It is my first time on your channel, but I still watch you from time to time when I can catch it. Okay. I just want to say that the male identified don't mean that you grew up with like your father or that you have a husband or something like that. It just means like that you identify with the male circumstances around life and not more than you do the woman's point of view. That's all, like the masculine point, not the feminine point of view. More. It doesn't mean that you don't have a man or you grew up with your father. But I do think that a lot of females that support Martell, they are male identified. I mean, he says a lot of stuff, but most of it turns out to be a lie. He wasn't interested in full custody of the kids when he was on vacation with Mel and trying to get back with her and all of that stuff. So after the vacation, when he seen that she was like, it's done, that's when he went to try to go for full custody. And he did say it was about the babysitters, the multiple babysitters, 20 plus babysitters, but yet we only hear him talk about one. Like if you are saying that a person has 20 something babysitters, you should at least be able to name off half of it.
You talking about the gay brother?
Yes, he only has named one person. And
not true. But
who else has he named?
He named another lady that he said has multiple children of her own that Melanie left the kids with. He didn't feel comfortable with that.
Melanie's best friend. That was before he filed for
But
custody.
you just said that was
before he filed for the full custody.
Right. That's why
hold on, Butterfly. Hold on. But
that's why he filed for full custody.
This is how it becomes tit for tat. We have to let her finish her thought because again, it's just her opinion, right? And then we can respond to that. But we have to let people actually fully, say what they have to say. So please continue, Tate.
Okay. And also, the part about the police thing, like we say that he's stalking her because when a person is constantly calling a person and trying to get back with them and following them around, and they know every move this person has made, and they pull up in their phone to this person and tell them everywhere they've been, most people classify that as stalking. Whether it's been documented with the police or not does not mean it's not stalking. It just means that she has not reported it to the police. And not all like that, but are we really joking when we say the police are going to do something? The police don't stop people from harassing us, especially as Black women. The police is not going to protect us all the time like that. Like you see that he was just in the thing last month and how they were protecting him then, saying that he was not even arrested or whatever the case may be, when in my opinion brought up information that says that was what happened. So you see how much they are protected. So it does not mean that because we don't see a police report. She did also say that she filed a police report about the phone hacking situation. And I don't believe that if it was in a court order for Martell to have a phone number for Mel, that she wouldn't have him with a phone number, whether it was to a burner phone or not. You have to keep in mind also that they have
really quickly, just to fact check that. They did say that she admitted to not having access for him and the children for I believe at least a month at a time, multiple times. So just in all fairness, that was what Melody admitted to. no, they did not have contact. She did not allow them to have contact for, I think it was like a month or so at a time. And she was right. Black women are one of the least protected groups in America. Little black girls go missing, you don't see anything. Somebody else goes missing, they send plane, trains, and automobiles to go and find them. So
sorry, but black women are getting toe tagged every 5 hours. That's why it's a big deal for what the Dunn said.
Hey, ma'am, can you come back to me? Can you circle back to me?
No, guys, look.
Well, we could go live.
I love the fact that I don't want to go left. I want to stay right. I want to stay right. We gotta let Tay finish what she has to say.
I'm saying when she get through, can you circle back?
When I do circle back, guys, Shay, you definitely are next. When I circle back, we can't do like a diatribe. We can't do 5 minutes each.
It'd be real quick.
If you have like 1 point, because eventually we're gonna have to close out. Your boy has been up since 4:30. That video and all that research took a long time, and then I went to my real job, and that took a long time. I literally left work. The only thing I had time to do was make a drink and go to the bathroom real quick, and that was it. And then I was back on here. So please finish, Tay. Shay, it's your turn, and then we can circle back, but it can't be like arguing and fighting. It just has to be what your opinion is, quick points. Please continue.
Yes. So with that and the phone hacking and all of that stuff, that's not going to stop him. That is harassment and stalking. And like I said, we have to look at it like this. They have a special arrangement, 7 days on, 7 days off. Is she calling the kids all the time, every day when they're with him? So what is the reason? What do he need to talk to them for when they're with her? Because for one, you are the reason that y'all are not in the same household anymore. You can't make the situation be the same as it was when you guys were in the house in the same house anymore. Y'all divorced. So now you have to adjust to these new rules. I'm quite sure she doesn't like not seeing her kids for 7 days. And then see them for 7 days, and then 7 days they're off. That's half of the month. Half of the month they're gone, half of the month they're with her. She want to see her kids every day. That's what she would prefer, but that's not happening because of mainly him. So I don't see a problem. Like, he only wants to, what do you want to talk to them about so much? Like, you'll see them when your 7 days come. And if they had a cohesive co-parenting situation, I'm quite sure those type of things would happen. But what's happening, it looks like, is that when he's calling about supposed to be the kids, he's talking to her about getting back together. So it's not like he want to talk to the kids so bad, because if he was so interested in the kids like that, he would have stopped cheating and stayed in the household. And to go with what they were saying about him cheating and all this type of stuff, that's absurd to think that that's the only problem, or that's what we feel like the only thing that Martell did to her. Like, that is the least of their problems. They could have fixed the cheating. He is abusive. Like, he shows abusive behavior. You've seen them have to pull him away physically from her, like he was going to attack her. We even seeing now on another show that he's running up on women that he don't even know. So, I mean,
he's trying to get to know Kenya.
Now, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much. When Tay talks,
that's okay.
I appreciate you. Shay Renee, do you have a channel as well?
I do. Actually, hey girl, to the side. What's up? Yeah.
Welcome to the channel.
Thank you.
Like I said, I support other content creators. I didn't know.
I have a channel too. You didn't ask me.
Who? Butterfly?
Yes.
Butterfly? I didn't know you had a now, Butterfly, I feel like you've been around before, right?
Yes, I always watch you. That's why I said
that's
I
appreciate you. I didn't know.
And I don't always agree with you neither, but I don't you see I don't attack you. I just share my opinion and keep it moving.
And I appreciate that. I did not know you had a channel.
I still love you. I've watched you from the beginning when you first popped up started your channel. My mother loves you too, by the way.
A lot of older women do love me. Those are my
My
favorite
mother
people.
loves you too. My mother was like, "Do you watch Make It Make Sense?" I was like, "Yes, mommy, I do."
Okay, well, I didn't know you had a channel. So Butterfly has a channel. All these
That's
people
okay. I'm
supporting.
cool because I'm not a mellometer, and they're not gonna like my opinion. So don't even send them my way because I'm not trying to get into the doxing and the
Butterfly. Let me give you your shout out. The point is, there's not just mellometers in this chat. There's people who are team Kid. There's people who are team Martell. There's people who are team I'm tired of all these people. So you might say something that they like. So let me give you your shout out.
This is definitely the
I'm
most
sorry.
mixed panel ever.
That's the whole thing.
There isn't a clear indication on who team they on. I've been in the comments. They've been like, get her off. Mute her. Why she screaming?
That's what I
More
wanted.
millimeters.
I handpicked people to invite because I want to hear what everybody has to say. Shay Renee, it's on you. Then we'll do a quick quick responses, and then we're gonna close out.
But I have to respond to that male identified bullcrap.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna make it quick because
you don't have to make.
Y'all got a lot of opinions up here.
Expound your thoughts. You don't have to make it quick. You waited.
Okay.
You waited. It's your turn.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much, Mims, for letting me come up. I absolutely love your channel. I love I love the shady but fair because you are. It's like the best thing that you could have ever qualmed yourself. But I just wanted to say, first and foremost, I don't think that Mel thinks that Martell is a bad dad, because if she thought that he was a bad father, she wouldn't agree to 50-50 custody of her children. That's the first point. Secondly, I believe that Martell is having a hard time. He's really struggling with the fact that his life is no longer going to be the same. I think that he thought that life after marriage, or, I don't think that he really truly understood how his life was going to be affected by his actions. Now, he cheated, they're divorced, it's done. The things that he is doing is, in my opinion, he's not doing things that are actively portrayals of, oh, I'm a dad that's really concerned about my children. No, because if he was that concerned about his children being with the mother, then why do y'all have 50-50 custody? That's the biggest thing. And again, like Tay said, is Mel calling you every 5 minutes when you have the children? What is the reason that you need to talk to the children? Now, I will say this. I'm not a mellometer or any of that stuff. I'm a realist. And I realize you do need to communicate with your children. Mel should create an active way for him to communicate with his kids when she has them, because he could just want to say hello or whatever the case may be. But the reality is, we know that he is not reaching out or trying to reach out as often as he's trying to, because he wants to talk to his kids. He's trying to get back with Mel. And I honestly don't think it's because he loves Mel or he really wants her. I think that he really is having a problem with divorcing his old life. Martell has not, and here's the other big point I want to make. I feel like, Mel is constantly being bombarded because she's working all the time. She has these 20 babysitters because she's working all the time. There are single mothers right now that have 3 and 4 children that are working, okay? And they're actively doing what they need to do to take care of their children. So why is she constantly being held under the gun? Because of the fact that she's actively working and doing things to make a life for her children. And because he can't provide the same lifestyle at his home, I feel like he's trying to do whatever he can to get into her pockets. They had a certain lifestyle when they had 2 incomes. So now that he doesn't have that money anymore, he doesn't have the access, he doesn't have that, oh, I'm in the limelight, everybody see me, thing going on. It's challenging for him. His picker was off. He thought that going and doing all these things that he was going to do was going to help him to maintain the same life. He's doing these calendars, he's doing the wine and all these things that are not producing the income that he's used to. So at the end of the day,
How are you going to sit there and penalize her because you are not actively out here hustling? You are not passing your builder's license test. You're not doing what you need to do to create the lifestyle that you were formerly accustomed to for your children. That's not her fault. She shouldn't be punished for it. He's constantly taking her through court because I feel like Martell, again, he's having a crisis in life. He's a man and he wants to be able to financially look like he's able to contribute for his children. This lady had to pay his light bill. You know what I mean? Like, so it's really sad. He's struggling. And I think he's just taking it out on the wrong person. And instead of doing that, he needs to pull himself up by the bootstraps, be the man that he wants to put on the tight suit and show everybody that he thinks he is. He want to look like the man. There you go. Great photo. He want to look like he the man, but he don't want to do the manly things that it takes to take care of his kids and take care of himself. And that's what it is. She shouldn't be penalized for that. Period.
All right. Well, thank you, Shay Renee. Again, please. I appreciate everybody's opinion. I got to get through some of these super chats. And then we're going to do like a quick roundup where everybody can give like their quick last thought. Cause my mom is older. She then lost her phone and now I got to drive across town to go find her phone with her. I'm telling you, I don't know.
Mamas.
This lady is something else. She wanted me to come during work. I'm like, no, I got 2 jobs, y'all. Prissy says allowing the kids to have a phone with less than how much they have to communicate. You know, I'll say this. I know some parents who didn't let their kids have a phone until high school. I had a phone in middle school, but that was not normal. Now kids who are in like first grade have phones, but that's really one of those things that's up to the specific parents. I know mostly everybody has a laptop or an iPad and a phone, but again, I don't really know the specifics of these people's, you know, what they want to do with their children. My unpopular opinion says, so Mel goes a week without talking to her kids. Shame. So Mel goes a week. Oh, so Mel goes a week without talking to her kids. Did somebody say that on the? I can't remember. It's been a long night.
Well, they made an assumption that she doesn't when Martell have the kids.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard that. I don't know that to be true. That wasn't any document that. That wasn't any document that I saw in my popular opinion. Danielle really wants to talk about Marceau's hips. Is he your type?
Hope not.
Now, Danielle, let me know if he's your type.
Danielle gonna get you meals.
Well, I think Danielle says she dates like football player types, right?
Not Marceau though. You know that.
Right. They had tight
and don't do Danielle like that, because Danielle don't break up happy marriages, okay? She's not that.
I didn't say that Marceau was who she wanted. I just asked if she likes men with hips. That's a fair question. Some women like a man, you know, with a BBL. I didn't know that Marceau had a BBL. That's why I was asking the question.
He has it's natural.
You shady.
I didn't know neither. I never noticed it.
A natural woman.
Y'all, we have a good time over here. If you have not subscribed or liked, you definitely need to do that. We got a couple more super chats and then we'll round table. It'll start.
And join the membership, because let me tell you, it's the truth. Okay, join that membership.
There's nobody else that I've seen on YouTube who lets their members actually ask interview questions to the people that they interview. So that's a big one.
And he got some piping. He got a piping interview coming up, y'all. So you better join the membership now.
I actually have an announcement, but I want a date and time before I announce it. But I have something really big happening with RHOA. I'm super excited. Corey, thank you so much for the super sticker. It's going to be really, big for my channel, and I'm surprised that this came through. But I will let you guys know. I think we got a couple more. Y'all are been going in the comments. This is me just scrolling through just to get to the super chats.
Oh, the comments are going through, boy. I can't even keep up with the comments.
we have team everybody in here. And I think what happens a lot of times is people either don't like Martell and they're in a chat with all people who don't like Martell, or they don't like Melody and they're in a chat with all people who don't like Melody, or they're in a chat with people who really love Miss Wanda or really love Melody.
I love Miss Wanda.
I don't want to have those kind of chats. I want everybody up here. Brittany says Martell is literally still trying to prove that Mel cheated. He's trying to change the narrative. Textbook narcissist. Brittany?
Well, she did. He played the recording, but anyway, she admitted to it. But anyway, moving along.
Well, I agree with the narcissist comment that you made, Brittany. Thank you so much for the super chat. Fifi says memberships has its perks. It sure does. Thank you, Fifi. I appreciate the super chat. Wente Talk, thank you for letting me up. No, thank you for coming up, and thank you for the super chat from the panel. I don't know that that's happened before. So.
Hey, don't be trying to make me look bad. Let me go.
I was just going to say, I seen that. I said, oh, Tay not class. She classy.
Only Danielle says, for you, info, my big daddy is an ex-basketball player, and I have all the hips that are needed, sucko. I don't know, Danielle. Some women like hips.
Get him, Danielle.
I knew he was an athlete. I didn't know if he was football or
basketball.
I'm gonna
get you.
But what I do know is you where the money resides. Thank you, Danielle, for the super chat. I think that was it. So, Legally Leah, you got the floor. Then it's the Don, Butterfly,
okay,
the hot tea, Q the content guy, Wente Talks, and Sinead. This was rapid fire though, because we got to close out.
Okay. 3 points. One thing we always say in the law, you may have heard it yourself. You don't ask a question that you don't know the answer to. In the interrogatories, question 10, how many times did you meet a person for romantic or sexual reasons during your custodial times with your minor children since a divorce from the defendant? That is Martell and Melody. Why? Second, 2, Mims, in my opinion, check your DM. I'm going to drop these receipts and more because I want the documents out there. Seeing with your own 2 eyes, I'm that girl. I don't do YouTube. Go to Mims YouTube tips. Tell him about the Mims when I get done. Y'all join his channel for that because he's going to help me get a YouTube channel. But I'm going to drop them tomorrow, tonight. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I was about to say, you got a channel, girl, but I definitely want to see them receipts.
Come on, sis, yes.
Legally, you have a channel?
You can come to mine after if you want to drop
I don't have a channel, but I was going to partner my girl, in my opinion, if you want
She did.
Yeah,
okay. She
somebody else.
too.
I'm sorry. I'm all trying to steal somebody else's.
Butterfly.
Okay.
Butterfly and I, we're going to get together on that.
Okay.
So let me just paraphrase. What you're saying is you're going to drop all the receipts on somebody's channel, whether it's In My Opinion or Butterfly or your own. That's what you're saying?
I'm sorry.
My Alabama sister is going to drop her channel, okay? And I'm going to come up there and help her drop those receipts, okay?
Okay. All right. There we go.
Okay. And I will let you guys... let you guys know when they get that together where you can find Legally Leah and those receipts.
And the
please do.
What was your third? What was your third?
And,
what was your third point?
And about the whole being a male identified thing, I have a question. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Because I just look down and I'm all woman. And I'm out.
Amen.
Giselle, what is happening?
My favorite
Giselle,
quote with
what is happening?
You better go ahead, Miss Leah.
What is going on? Okay, the Don is yours. The floor is yours.
Leah, check the private chat.
Amen.
I just think it's as a father who has primary custody of his 15-year-old daughter, and she's with her mom every other Thursday and Friday. When she is not with me, I call her multiple times. I text her just to see what she's doing. How was her day? How was school? I think it's completely unfair to say, why does a parent need to contact their child? I don't think that's right at all, because when she's with me, her mom has free reign to contact her all day, every day, and I don't stop her.
Yeah, so, y'all don't have the same dynamic as Mel and Martell.
But like, Martell, per the court documents, can I have my time, please?
Go ahead.
Per the court documents, Martell brought the kids their own personal phones, and Melody did not allow the kids to use their personal phones. So that's the court document. That's not what I thought.
Oh, at her house.
So, but it's still the phones that he brought for the kids to use to communicate with him. So it's completely unfair.
Hold on, but this is rapid fire. So
it's just unfair to have have the child not be able to talk to a parent at either home. That's just not. I just don't think that's conscionable for either parent to do. And that's it. I'm waiting for the documents to drop as well, because obviously the judge didn't see it the way that everybody else is seeing it.
Okay, that's fair. Thank you for your opinion. Butterfly, you're up, and then it's
okay. First of all, I don't male identify. I am strictly woman, all woman. And because I see things for what they are doesn't mean I male identify. Do I sympathize and empathize with Melanie? Absolutely. Does that mean I'm not going to hold her accountable for when she does funny stuff? No, it does not. Just because I can sympathize with her doesn't mean I'm going to overlook her flaws. Okay? Martell has not been bringing her back and forth to court. They only went to court for this custody thing because, like said, he had a problem with the number of babysitters she had. Period. Whether it was just a brother or the best friend who had multiple kids too, Martell did name a couple of babysitters, but that's not suffice for people. They'll overlook that and keep saying, oh, it's because he wants this, that, and the third to her. That's their opinion. My opinion is he stated why he brought her back to court for the custody issue. And Melanie was not, he did try to talk to Melanie because he said he tried to talk to Melanie and she wasn't willing to talk. And the judge also agrees with Martell. Melanie is not. Whatever she's thinking, whether the police protect her or not, it would be smart to go ahead and file them things that she needs to file if she feels unsafe, period. Because at the end of the day, whatever it is, you still need a paper trail. And at the end of the day, whatever's in the dark shall come to light. And so she need to do what she got to do. If she feels threatened, she feels stalked, she feels this, she feels that, then there's avenues for her to do. And I highly doubt that Melanie would not take them processes because she has no problem sneaking on them Facebook groups and leaking information. We didn't know who everyone was until she leaked it onto them Facebook groups. But moving along, anywho, so at the end of the day, that's just how I feel. And Lawyer Lee and my boo next to me, what's your name again?
In my opinion,
I will be waiting for y'all channel to start up and drop them receipts. And I just, like I said, Mims, thank you for allowing me up here. My mother loves you, so I want to give you a shout out for my mother. And I love you. I appreciate
What's her
you.
name?
Like I said, Butterfly Pretty Stay Fly.
No, your mother's name.
Oh, my mommy's name? You could call her Mama Butterfly.
All right, well, Mama Butterfly, I love you too.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your opinion, Butterfly.
Yes.
I think it was, before I get to this, Brown Skin Girl says, I was trying to get up next time. Here for the hot tea. Shay, Renee, and Tay were on point, period. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm sorry, the panel did get filled really quickly. I don't know, y'all. Y'all have worn me out. I don't know that I could do. I tried to moderate as best as possible. I think we did a pretty good job considering a lot of people. Okay.
You got a lot of opinionated, melanated sisters up here, okay? So let me tell you something. We can all agree to disagree, and it's all love. Like I'm not disrespecting none of these sis. They can feel the same way. They got their own opinions, and I got mine. That's why my name said "in my opinion" because I express my opinion, and you don't have to like them, you don't have to agree with them, but we gonna respect each other peacefully.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. So thank you so much.
But me on that last, let me go ahead and say my last statements, and then I'm gonna let you wrap it up.
Hold on, no, I gotta do the super chat. Autumn in LA, but Martell is the type of person who would use that as an excuse to question the kids about Mel and what she is doing. No, I'm not trying to start a fire, but do I think that Martell would ask them children about the mom? Yeah, I feel like that was on the show at one point. I think that was covered.
He released it on social media. Him questioning the daughter. He released it on social media.
So yeah, that one.
And he tapping her phone, like he hacking into her phone. So are we to believe that he don't have anything with the kids' phones where he can track them?
Well, then he needs to call the Federal investigation for wiretapping. Melanie needs to call the FBI for wiretapping because that's a federal crime.
She said she made up immediately.
Okay, well, it was here for the hot tea. Then I think it is Q, and then Tay and Shay Renee. Here for that tea, you muted yourself.
Oh, hi. Oh, you unmuted me? Okay. We doing rap with this my closing. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
y'all. I was
it's your it's your closing.
Okay. I wanted to say to everybody, first and foremost, thank you so much. Make it make sense. I like to say your full name. And I am really appreciative. Like, I do like to debate. I can maybe be a handful, especially when we talk about the millimeters, especially when we talk about male.
And you like to troll.
I am actually, yes. I do like to be in control.
No, I said to troll. You said you like to troll.
Oh, yes, I do. I love to troll. That's my issue. I troll too much. And you can ask the people that's in the comments.
First step is admitting you have a problem. That's the first step.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't necessarily think it's a problem. It's okay. I'm gonna let her have it. It's fine. It's no big deal, you know. And then to the because she said she was from the 205. What is that? What area code is that?
That's Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, that's Alabama. And you know what? What's crazy is I got a lot of friends that's what you said? I couldn't hear you.
I just said Google us, but in my opinion,
no, I don't. No, you want to know what's crazy? I don't have to Google y'all because I got friends from Alabama, and baby, they gets to it. Okay, they gets to it in real life.
Well, go ahead then, baby girl.
Yes.
No, I'm being honest. They really do. Get
I got a lawyer. I already got my lawyer on dig.
That's how we do. And that's how we do it.
I don't know. I think y'all under the impression, like,
listen, that's how we do in Alabama. Come and find out if you want to. Come and find out how we do it in Alabama if you want to.
Oh no, I'm scared. I'm following Dawn's advice. I'm calling the police.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all are wearing me out at this point. Okay. Now I still gotta go.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say thank y'all to everybody. I do appreciate it. I did have a time debating y'all. I would love to come and debate again. And I won't be so extra. I didn't mean any harm by anything today. I am a troll. I'm gonna continue to troll, and I hope y'all don't, take it to heart. Thank you so much.
If you troll,
I go to my friends'
you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Keep trolling with me, you gonna find out.
Jesus Christ! I go to people's channels all the time that I like, and I play troll with them as well. They know.
I never troll you though. Legally, I never trolled you.
I don't even know what just happened. Y'all were just a minute ago. It was everybody was. We agreed to disagree, and we're all sisters. Now
I thought they were just playing.
This is like when they play Nuck in the Buck in the club. You never really know what's gonna happen. We're not nucking, and there's no bucking.
Have you seen a Delta scroll to Nuck if you buck, miss? I'm a Delta. Don't make me scroll to Nuck if you buck. I'm going on mute.
But I don't wanna Nuck if you buck. I wanna finish the rapid fire. Thank you for here for the hot tea. I totally invited you to come on.
Well, that's the real tea. She don't like me because she's an AJ.
Guys? Thank you so much here for the hot tea. I definitely appreciated your vantage points. And I thank you for coming up because I did invite you. Just like I invited legally. I appreciate legally too. I think it was Q's turn, which I'm scared. And then Tay and Renee will close us out.
Mims, I think this is one of your best reviews and panels. I like the, we like the mess over where I'm at. In the chat, we like the mess. We like the back and forth. I think this is a good send off for Jerry. So I'm proud of you, Mims, for letting this go down. And I think that it seems like Carlisha got it on her hands. So I'm proud of Carlisha for this show. I hope she keeps it up. And let's just remember, y'all, at the end of the day, it's a reality show. Everybody getting a check. That's all.
Oh, thank you, Q. I appreciate it. Q is also a content creator.
And Jim comes to my channel and he trolls me, and I respectfully ignore him.
I like to support a lot of content creators. I was a viewer before I was a subscriber. So even if it's people who I don't necessarily agree with, you might see me in there. I'll send them a super chat or I'll play with them. Tay, your turn, and then Shade, close us out.
Yeah, Mims, I don't know if you remember me when I used to be on the panels on the other channel. I know you don't like
the channel.
Can I say it?
Yeah, on what?
Remember
Oh no, I don't. I'm not that kind of content creator. I don't have any beef with Sherelle.
I know you don't. I know you don't. I just know that you said you like don't mention people.
Well, if you're like reading the dog shit out of somebody, yeah, I gotta say, oh no, don't do it, or let me run away before you do it. But no, I have no beef with Sherelle.
Yeah, I used to be over there. I used to come up sometimes. So we both used to be up on a little panel sometime. But yeah, I just want to say in closing that again, I think that I didn't say anybody up here was male identified. And also I think that even with the denial of being male identified, the definition is not what you're saying it is, but I don't think it likes a dig toward anybody either. And I also want to say that I want people to stop saying like people that's millimeters or whatever the case may be, trying to box them into like some type of rage thing like the Beehive and stuff like that, because not all fans are crazy or crazy. Like, it's people that like other people on the show that are crazy. I think this show is, it triggers a lot of people because of some of the stuff that they're doing on the show that some people deem is okay and it's not okay. But some people are used to being treated a certain way and they feel like it's just because that's how they were brought up or that's how they've always seen women be treated, that it's okay. Even as it goes down like with Tisha and her husband, people like, y'all just want her to break up from her husband. He's not cheating on her without proof. Like I said, cheating is not these guys' main issue. That is not their issue. I probably would wish that the cheating would be these guys' issue on this show. It's not their issues. And to the young man that was taking care of his daughter, he primary panned up his daughter and the mom, like we all have, not all, but people that got kids, most of us have custody things that we had going on. I think that we all can agree that Mel and Martell's situation is very much so different. And I'm quite sure that's how she would want it to be with the father of her kids, but that's not how he's making it. So I don't think that we can compare our situations to that. And also women that's been cheated on or whatever, that's not why they associate with Melody either. A lot of women that associate or support her has not been in that situation. I haven't, so it's not the reason that I support her. I support her because I see that these men on this show is trying to tear her down, and the women on the show are male identified and feel like she should be happy to even have a man that physically looks like Martell, which I think he looks like a piece of shit, but I won't say that on your channel. That she should be happy that he even wants to be with her or whatever the case may be. And that, they think she's foolish because, whatever the case may be, she don't want him. She's done with him. He didn't want her when he had her. And now he wants it back. And he's using the kids to try to get at her. He don't want to talk to them kids every day, all day. Like, again, talk to them about what?
Okay. I mean, that's
dinner when they come back home to you. So that's what I had to say. And on to you, Shay. Bye, Mills, and thank you for having me up.
You're very welcome. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you.
I just want to say again, love your channel, Mims. I think you do an amazing job. I think you work very hard and we appreciate it because you keep us entertained. I know you do keep me entertained while I'm at my 9 to 5 every day. So I appreciate you. So I just want to say in closing, I just pray, we have to always realize throughout this whole situation, there are children involved. And I think that, Mel should not be penalized because she's obviously pulled herself up by the bootstraps. She's a strong Black woman, and she's just trying to be a strong mother for her children and do the best that she can to create a long-standing life financially, emotionally, and, just protect her kids. And I think that, I just pray that Martell finds his financial comfort as well, so he doesn't continue to try to find it in Melody's pockets. So thank you for letting me come up, and I'll hope to come back again another time.
Martell has a message for you.
This ain't stealing.
On that note, I'm going to laugh off screen.
All right. Thank you, Shay.
Thank
and
you.
somebody said, brown skin girl, I subscribe to Shay. So thank you for coming up. I appreciate you. Thank you, Succeeding. Sorry, I missed that. We got one more super chat. Let's see. Y'all, I think we did pretty well to say that everybody was on opposite sides. I can't get to this thing. Super chat. My computer died. I had to reconnect it. I can't use my mouse. It's not great. I don't know if I can put it on screen, but I can definitely read it. Sorry. I like to. Okay, here we go. Drop the Mic says, this was the best. Thanks, Mims. Tay here for the hot tea, Shay. Thank you guys all for coming up. I really do appreciate everybody. And I'm glad that we can have these kind of conversations and just come to a meeting of the minds, even if we do not agree. There was no bloodshed. So I think this was successful. So I will see you all later. This was a lot. Good night, y'all. Nobody's going to say goodbye but me? Okay.
Good night,
Bye,
ma'am.